you see. So now there was 8 of us now, and they called us the 8 wonders of the world, you know.
John, I never looked at the back of the band too closely any times I was in the band. But there seemed to be something mysterious going on in the lineup of the snares. You had the leading drummer parked somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
What was the methodology of placing various drummers around them, and who was playing out the flanks and all that sort of stuff?
Yes. Well, the customary situation was the leading drummer was the right-hand side of the band, and his sidekick, or what was known as the flank player, who was second in command, he played out on the left.
Okay.
And everybody was in between them. And the first time I saw a leading drummer playing in the middle was from Guelph, City of Guelph Pipe Band with Ed and I forget the leading drummer's name. That was the first I seen it. Now I couldn't, it was although they had a great ensemble, I have to say, and but that was the first time I'd seen the leading drummer in the middle, and I don't know, and what's going to be strange for me now is I'm going back out to the right-hand side of the band as the shots did, as all the bands did in 1970.
Aye. You might find a wee bit difficulty. Where did they play the weaker players? Was that in the middle somewhere?
Well, generally in the middle. There was, if you go to the back of a corps, and especially if you know the drum beatings, if you go to the back of a corps, then you can figure out wee weaknesses in the sound, and then you can strategically place them guys.
Yeah.
To create the overall even sound, the more composite, that's a more composite sound if you strategically place the players,
Aye. It's a wee science all on its own, but I suppose you learn from mistakes as well over the years, don't you?
Yes, yeah.
Was there any outstanding performance that you ever took part in? You thought, well, that's mind-blowing or whatever, a real memorable performance at any time?
Oh, goodness. With Alec, there was literally 10 that could have been 50 or 100. With Alec Duthard, there was some absolutely, and I wondered how it was ever going to get any better, It was like hearing a pipe band, and you're saying, look, this pipe band, nothing can ever beat that. And lo and behold, later on, somebody does.
Aye.
But all the performances with Alec, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed. And I probably enjoyed them more than he did at times, because the memory he would maybe have forgotten little bits, you see, in the performance. And then he would look down the line and we would be going like this here. But the rule was that if that happened, that we would all come in with the correct double 40 part.
Aye.
And that goes away.
And maybe you should explain a wee bit about that concept to the viewers from Pipers'Persuasion are not au fait with the piano double 40, all that sort of stuff.
Yes, well, the piano and double 40 the piano was the leading drummer's part, and indeed, in Alec Duthard's case, it started off, there was no unison in Donald Cameron, so that means that the drummers would come in and out the first time over the part, And then
That's the first 8 bars, the first time you play the 8 bars.
that's
And
right.
These 8 bars had to be repeated, and that completed part one out of maybe 4-party tune or a 6-party tune even.
Yes, exactly. And then, so there would be little passages of unison that would help accent the tune's direction or the beaten's direction of the melody. And then over the years, them passages got shorter, but a lot more often. Till nowadays, you don't know, the double 40 should have been the loudest part. And nowadays, you don't know, if you didn't know the piano double 40 regime, you wouldn't know whether it was piano double 40 or not, because the whole thing's clouded with too much unison. The leading drummer is playing least on his own nowadays than he ever did before. And and indeed, in double 40, there's still there's in reels and things like that now. They're even the snare players the leading drummer is still doing a couple of bars now at the end of some double 40 parts.
Aye. So you think, is there a chance that the whole thing's becoming too clever now, or what?
Well, it's not too clever. I wouldn't say too clever, but I would say that there's less variety of rudiments.
Aye.
There's less definitive drumming. There's less roll top separation, because accented rolls, whereby the accent isn't the loudest, and by word and deed that should be the case, but it doesn't happen. And on downbeats or strong beats, sometimes that's when the drums are most quiet. And if you listen to this conversation now, and you'll see that from different points there, my accent is by duration and pitch, like a newsreader. And if I was to talk the way a lot of drummers play today, I would be saying, Alan, I am here talking to you this day. It's the Jack and Jill went up the hill, and Baba Black Sheep. Now against, I wandered lonely as a cloud. You see, and it's a different thing.
So they're not telling a story. They're not phrasing. They're not pointing and cutting. Everyone's a straight through, even sort of performance of notes. Is that another summation?
Well, it's a wee bit. The difference now is that people would remember Duthard beatings for what it did to the tune, to the melody.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the bands, there's never been as many good players and great players as there is now. But that's through better teaching as well. But if you listen to a band, there's not a bit of drumming that you could pick out among it, because it's all like the same.
Aye.
So you wouldn't remember. If I was listening to a band now, I couldn't pick out a part. Oh, I like that wee bit there. That was brilliant. And this, that, and all. You couldn't pick that out now, because it's in a phase whereby it's lending itself to the melody, but it's not directing it in any way. Some people would see that as a good thing.